Okay, everybody, here we go. Right off the bat, if the sound is low, turn it up. I'm having a problem here with my microphone. It might be screwed up. My whole computer system zapped out this morning. I don't know if this had anything to do with it, so just crank up that volume, all right? This is my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. People, that's exactly what we're going to do here right now. So I just want to start off with this here. You know about this? So this happened yesterday on the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Is this some kind of a coded message that we can expect something like that to happen again? What do you and I already know? They need an event, something to occur to allow them to switch us to the new system. The bridge to the new system is being built. It's not done yet. What I'm talking about is this merger between the banks and the cryptocurrency, making us the crypto capital of the world, the cryptocurrency capital of the world. It's not done just yet. In my opinion, they have to mainstream cryptocurrencies first. Again, deregulate the banks, merge the banks with crypto, deregulate that. Boom, the bridge is built, and that's going to be that. We also understand that they need a mechanism here to pull more cash into the now. The system is illiquid. It's running out of cash very, very rapidly, and that's a worry, honestly, because who knows what they have in store for us. I want you to keep this in mind. Their playbook requires them, it's not the book that we use. They use a different book, okay? Their playbook requires them to let people know what's going to happen before it does. So we can either stand opposed to it or consent to it. If they float out an idea, like, for example, let's make the United States the crypto capital of the world, not the constitutional money capital of the world, they're waiting to hear what people are going to have to say. They're waiting for consent. Consent via not hearing anything. And that's more than likely what's going on here. People are not pushing back. They're allowing the wheels to stay in motion. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And that's why we are in the situation we're in. There's no pushback. There's no accountability anymore. It's just they do whatever the heck they want because we accept it. We consent by not saying anything. You understand? So that's how their playbook works, not ours. So with that, I want you to keep it in mind. We're going to see more things thrown at us, and they're going to wait to see, again, how we react. We don't say nothing. We don't stand up for ourselves. They're going to do whatever they want, walk all over us. That's just the way it's going to be. I think we're pretty much on the same page, okay? Now, with that, let us move forward. We got this over the weekend as well. So just consider what I showed you. Almost $1 billion, just shy of $1 billion weapons package for Ukraine on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Coded message? I'm reading too much into this? What do you think? Anyway, so Russia right now pushing back against Trump's threat with regard to 100% tariffs if they try to circumvent the dollar. So the BRICS nations, or Russia specifically, says that Trump's threat will not work on the BRICS payment system. So Reuters, work will continue on the BRICS settlement system despite President-elect Trump's threat to impose 100% tariffs on nations that undermine the dollar. Okay, stay in that dollar because it's a Federal Reserve issued note, and of course they're working together. You all know that. Now I want to bring something else to your attention that you already know. These banks have a black hole balance sheet. It's an incredible thing to see. Loan default skyrocketing across the board, including distress in office loans, commercial real estate. You and I have been speaking about this since time immemorial. Now let's talk. Let's read this real quick. The share of distressed office loans in commercial property hit a record high in November. This uptick of distressed office spaces as well as other property types climbed dramatically in the past year. Even with the Federal Reserve starting to lower interest rates in September, lovely, they're going to lower them much more. You know that. Speaking of that, how's this look for you? The Federal Reserve, people, is going to be cutting rates, it looks like, even though we're getting inflation rise here in the United States, around the world. Let me tell you something. The Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank are working hand in hand to artificially suppress rates, destroy the purchasing power of the currency, and that means we lose. We're consenting to it, right? Is anyone standing up? The only way you can stand up here is to raise awareness here. You understand? And people who follow this blog, I hope sincerely that you're sharing this stuff. Now, going back to the banks, this shows you how much trouble they're in. About 2 years ago, what did you and I say? No deposits, no loans, and no deals. Remember that? Okay. Well, they're in trouble, which means we're in trouble. Banks are offering incredible bonuses just to open an account. Look at some of this stuff here. Oh yeah, you're probably getting these offers in your mailboxes here. I know I am. Anyway, look, we're on top of this. We know what's going on, but just remember what I'm telling you. They tell you what they're going to do before they do it because they want to see if we consent. If we don't push back, we consent. You understand? And with regard to making the United States the crypto capital of the world, bridging us into the new system, you know it's coming. Okay, we're not being made the constitutional money capital of the world. No. Way far from that as the new system is rolled in. All right. Now, look, this is in your inbox. If you subscribe to my newsletter, people, I want to cover this with you because it's huge, and I mean freaking huge. So let's do this here just real quick. Anyway, look. So markets, what is about to happen will shock the world. Let's start off with this, my beautiful friends. The world economy is under direct attack. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, absolutely. This mechanism will vault risk on assets, meaning stocks and cryptocurrencies, to heights which will leave most people dumbfounded. If this hasn't left you dumbfounded already, I don't know what to tell you. Looking at the market, record high after record high after record high. Bitcoin over 100,000 and more. So anyway, the mechanism here is simple. We have world central banks colluding directly with selected puppet leaders who are involved in a grand deception. That's all this is, a grand deception. Here in the United States, year to date, the S&P 500 has hit no less than 53 new record highs, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average breaking above 45,000 the first time ever, and Bitcoin, as we all know, breaking above 100,000. People, for years, I have explained to those of you who follow my work that the faster that the economy craters, the higher the stock market's going to go. An interesting dynamic here. What a paradox. Moreover, I have gone on to say that if you are a member of the middle class, you have a tattoo on your face in the shape of a target. Yeah, that's what you look like, and you are being eliminated. The root cause of this grand theft against the world's middle class and therefore the economy stems from the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates. Low/artificially suppressed rates are massively currency purchasing power negative. Henceforth, why we're seeing inflation, people. You remember the blame game? They have to assign blame. Again, not only do they have to tell you what they're doing before they do it so they can get consent, okay, but consent by omission, by you not saying anything, they have to assign blame because they can't point their finger at the Federal Reserve or central banks who are the monster of this earth. They are public enemy number one. Period. Anyway, here. So, anyway, the root cause of the grand theft of the world middle class and therefore the economy stems from the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates. You all know that here. Currency purchasing power negative, a loss of purchasing power is inflationary. However, this same mechanism is highly stock market positive and obviously cryptocurrency positive. Okay, so here we go. Why is this happening? Why is the wealth being shoved right up to the 1% and 2%? You're watching the stock market. Oh, sure, your 401k plans look really good, but just in case you didn't know, who owns most of the stock market? This is the most recent data from the Federal Reserve. The richest Americans own the vast majority of the U.S. stock market, according to the Federal Reserve. The top 10% of Americans held 93% of stocks, the highest level ever recorded. So economics 101, I'm just going to remind you. To have a strong economy, well, you need a strong currency. Duh, we don't have that. And to have a strong currency, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. Why are we being promised lower rates by our illustrious soon-to-be President-select Trump? Why is the Federal Reserve lowering rates at the same time? Why are they both on the same page? Well, first of all, they can't tell you that this mechanism is going to destroy you by sucking your purchasing power away. This is a phenomenon around the world here. But again, they tell you what they're going to do first, and they omit things. The Federal Reserve is not telling you, neither is President-select Trump when he promised you lower rates, that it means you're going to lose purchasing power. He didn't say that. Again, because that's how they work. Their book is not our book. Their book dictates that they can tell you things and then play off your ignorance. You understand? You're not ignorant if you follow this blog. Anyway, currently the Central Bank of the United States, the Federal Reserve, and the European Central Bank, ECB, are leading the way to cut rates, and more rate cuts are coming. From an economic standpoint, rate cuts and therefore currency purchasing power losses are an economic wrecking ball. That's why we're in the situation we're in around the world, lovely people out here. However, lower rates and a weaker currency are highly risk-on assets positive, meaning what? Meaning you can expect to see the stock markets of the world and cryptocurrencies move higher. Now, cash seeks yield. You've heard me say that for quite a long time. What does that actually mean? Let me read this to you. So cash-seeking yield means that with the promise of lower rates, cash will continue to flow in faster into stocks and into cryptocurrencies, with other assets like commodities, unfortunately, underperforming. But this is opportunity. Let them underperform. They're going to inflate the debt like you can't believe. You're still going to bet against the debt and become your own central bank by hoarding hard assets, gold, silver more specifically, getting exposure to commodities across the board. In my newsletter, which I know all of you do subscribe to 100% free, link in the description of the video, I put out at least 5 to even 6 newsletters with a list of exchange-traded funds which will allow you exposure to commodity ETFs. So let's go on here. So if wealth, no. Let me add this, okay, real quick here. The current market environment guarantees malinvestment, massive price action distortions, and worsening asset bubbles. Sound about right to you? Yeah, I'm sure it does. So if the wealth is being stolen from you, the middle class, where is it going? Easy money policy, meaning artificially suppressed rates and therefore currency devaluation, not only vaults risk on assets higher, as we just discussed, stocks and cryptocurrencies, it wrecks the economy. Now, it also creates a phenomenon known as the Cantillon effect, which I've been talking about since time immemorial. Now, let me just say this real quick. The Cantillon effect is an uneven distribution of newly created money within an economy, which leads to a redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich. This mechanism here is in full effect. And if you think it's going to stop anytime soon, you have no idea what's actually going on. You're being eliminated. You're being erased. Now look, I know the sound is terrible right now. I hope you got something out of this video. I am going to work on fixing the sound here. With that said, people, look, man, we got to remain on top of the situation here and take advantage of everything that comes our way. On the same page so far, and that's exactly what we're going to continue doing. I can promise you that. But I want you to understand how they work. They got to tell you what they're going to do first. They wait to see if there's a pushback. How many of you pushed back against the United States becoming the crypto capital of the world when you were promised that by Trump during the campaign? How many? A fraction of 1%? So they go ahead. They do it. Again, that's their book. They have to tell you first. It's not our book. They wait to see if we're going to consent to it. The mechanism here, again, by not saying something, you're consenting to it. And that's all they look for is consent. We have free will, right? We've been given free will by the Almighty. Well, if you're not pushing back, how are you even utilizing your own free will? You're not. They're taking advantage of it by accepting you keeping your mouth shut as consent. And they're going to do things to us, people, that you can't even believe. You can't even freaking believe. Maybe, just maybe, they're telling us they're going to set up a new Pearl Harbor on us, man. What is here? Again, on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, you think that's a code for something the same day, maybe? Let me know what you think. All right. Look, I apologize about the sound. I will see all of you in the morning. All right. Sound will still probably be lousy. I got to get a new microphone. All right. Love you all from the heart with all I got, people. We got this. All right. Please take care of yourselves and each other until we see each other in the morning. All right. Get the video out there. Share it. Let's wake some people up here, please. Those thumbs up are really a big help. And I will see you in the morning. All right. Love you all from the heart.